Hello, Catawba County. I'm Matt Stover, the Superintendent for Catawba County Schools. And today I'd like to give you some updates on what is going on in Catawba County Schools. So with me today, I've got a PowerPoint that I'll go over. I'm going to talk about our grab-and-go meals, our 4th and 5th grade returns, our athletics and extracurriculars, and our COVID-19 status, which is critical and which I'll spend a little bit more time on today. So, big thank you to our child nutrition staff. Over Thanksgiving, we were able to serve 6,500 meals, 1,300 students and families. So we're really excited about that. And big thanks to our child nutrition staff and all our community who participated. Again, we will be doing that over Christmas. Winter break, you'll see that we are having grab-and-go meals. And Thursday, December 17th, Monday, December 28th, 8:30 to 10. More information on our website if you would like that, and we do look forward to serving our families and students over the holiday, and really if anyone who needs this, any of our students and their families, we would be more than happy to provide you with those meals. So really exciting news about 4th and 5th graders return. November 30th we did start. We are practicing social distance to the best of our ability in our classrooms. In many cases, that means we have 4 to 6 feet. We're really trying to get 5 to 6 feet. And we have classrooms who have moved to bigger locations. We've got spread out. Our students and staff are doing a great job wearing their masks and social distancing, of course, wearing those 3 Ws. And we have seen the impact of pre-K 3, how important it is for those students to learn in person. And so we are off to a great start with our 4th and 5th graders returning to our classroom, and in some cases, almost feels like normal. So we're thankful to have those little guys and girls back in our classrooms. Also really exciting, in November, we did start our extracurriculars and athletics. We started with volleyball and swimming and cross country in our high schools. And middle school, we've done volleyball and cross country. And we just got good news from the Athletic Association that we are able to start basketball on time, December 7th. And so basketball will be starting practices. All students will have to wear face coverings at all times, just like our volleyball teams are having to do inside our gyms. Our capacities are staying at only 25 people, but we are excited to see our students out competing, both middle school and high school. So and middle school basketball will start a little later this month. Just a side note here, we do not have any more information on athletics, whether that will continue into competition at this point, but we have been given the green light to start athletics, start basketball in practices, so that's good. In extracurriculars, we do have some extracurriculars going around across the district. We are a big believer in extracurriculars in Catawba County Schools, and we're thankful to have ROTC and unicycle and other activities, bands and whatnot that are finding ways to social distance and being safe, whether it's virtual or in person, doing different activities to keep our students engaged. So there are just a few updates about that. Certainly check our website at any one of our schools that you had any questions about athletics. We continue to update those, and hopefully you can find the information there. If not, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I can get you in the right direction. So we are, of course, still practicing our 3 Ws. We are definitely doing a lot of sanitizing, high-touch areas, our custodians. We're trying to hire more custodians. We have found that that is not easy to do, but we continue to try to find extra custodians to help us with this. Our teachers and staff are sanitizing in between classes. Our students are washing their hands. They're keeping their face coverings on. And parents are doing a great job helping us with our students, sending students with face coverings. Again, if you do have face coverings for students, if you could clean them before you send them back. We also have disposable ones at the school if they need it. We continue to have PPE gear at our personal protective equipment for our students and staff at our sites. And please don't hesitate to ask if you need anything, parents or staff for that matter. So we are going to continue to fight COVID-19 in our school buildings. So I can tell you that I don't have an official case study on this, but August 17th was the first day of school. Today is December 7th, and when I'm doing this video, and we have found the 3 W's to work. We have not had a classroom spread at this point so far. We did have our first cluster. Unfortunately, it did involve an extracurricular activity, but in the school itself, we have not had a spread of COVID-19, and we strongly believe that that is because of the 3 W's. And so we are thankful for that. I can't guarantee that will continue to happen, but we are thankful for that so far. And we just want to say a big thank you to our community, for our parents especially, for teaching their students what to do. And a big thank you to our staff for continuing to sanitize and wear those face coverings. So yeah, the hardest part that we're dealing with, and it's no secret, unfortunately, Catawba County is one of 20 counties that is a critical county according to our North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, because we are seeing a number of an increase in positive cases. The percent of positive cases is increasing. Last time I talked to our health director, it was over 10%, and of course, our hospitalizations continue to increase for our county, and that is why we are on the critical list. So why am I talking to you about the critical list for Catawba County? I am not in the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, nor our local health department. But as you can see here, how that affects us is more spread in the community means that more opportunity for the virus to come in our schools. And then what happens is, although we're not seeing the spread in schools, we are seeing a number of quarantines. And obviously the health department is doing that out of abundance of caution. And we are having to deal with that with less students and less staff, and sometimes gets rather tricky. The hard part about COVID-19, as I've talked to several schools about, and you've heard me say before, is we don't know where we're spreading or how we're doing it. But we do know that in 50% of cases, according to CDC, that it's people without symptoms. They don't even know they have it. And that is why the quarantines are so high. Excuse me, we're going back 48 hours before they have first symptoms, so we can quarantine those folks to ensure that the spread does not happen. So that's a little bit about why that is so important. About, although it's spreading in the community, how is it affecting Catawba County schools? So here's our COVID-19 snapshot. Right now, we're fluctuating between 5 and 10 staff members positive at any given time. Right now, we're between 35 and 45 students at any given time. And we are up to about 1,000 quarantines right now, coming off Thanksgiving. We've been hit especially hard. And so, and folks, if you haven't seen COVID in your immediate family, you've probably seen it in your extended family, or if you have friends on Facebook. And so right now, that number is, we're having about 9,000 students on campus a day. We have about 15,600 students total. About 3,000 of those are completely virtual. And as you know, 6 through 12 is still operating at 50%. We are full now, pre-K through 5. So we're about 9,000 students a day. And so those are the facts for Catawba County schools. We're safe, but we're seeing the spread in the community is having a large impact on what we're doing. So quarantines are what I call a personnel issue. Although we're safe, not spreading it, it does mean that more staff and more students who get the virus or have to be quarantined because of an exposure next to a positive person, then that means we have less supervision for our schools, or students have to stay at home and learn from home with their teacher. And in some cases, it becomes really difficult to find supervision for the remaining students who are back in school, or it can be difficult, depending on connectivity, for the teacher and the students to have class at home. Although I will tell you that we've had a lot of success stories with that, and you'll see that's why we're still having school with 1,000 quarantines and the number of people we have. out at given points because our staff has done a magnificent job navigating these waters, and our parents have done a magnificent job in ensuring our students are engaging, and we greatly appreciate that. Unfortunately, the work's not done, and we've got to step up the work, and we need your help, and that's why I'm on here. I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on, but you can see there that schoolhouse means the more people out in the community that have COVID-19 that come into the schools means we have more quarantines, and that would be where we find ourselves having to shut down grade levels, shut down particular schools, or possibly, when I say shut down, I mean go virtual. Then that's when we would see maybe the possibility of having to go all virtual in grade levels, by grade level, school, and or by district. Our goal is to keep you safe, and we know those 3 W's work. And so that is what I'm asking today. And share this with whoever you can. But we see education as this 3-wheeled thing, obviously, between Catawba County schools, our families, our businesses. We could argue which one's more important. Obviously, it's certainly not here to do that. But I do know that it takes all 3 of us working together for this thing to keep going. And, right now, our students are safe in school. In fact, Jennifer McCracken, our health department director, has stated multiple times that school right now is the safest place for our kids based on all the sanitation that we're doing and not seeing the spread. But we're seeing that as more COVID cases in our families, in our businesses, that begins to really cripple what we're able to do in our school system. And you'll see here that if we would have to go all virtual in a grade level or a school or even possibly the district, it shuts down the families and it shuts down our businesses. So our economy is dependent upon our schools staying open. And we have bent over backwards to try to continue to keep schools open. Our staff has been selfless. Our custodians, our bus drivers, our child nutrition workers, our teachers, our principals, our assistant principals continue to try to keep school going because we, number one, feel like that is the best learning opportunity for students. And we also know how important our piece of the pie or wheel is, a cog, if you will, to keep the economy going in Catawba County. So that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for everyone's help. We need all 3 of these wheels turning at the same time. We want our students to come back in full. Right now, 6, 12, we have no opportunity to bring back students because the governor will not allow that because we have too many cases across the state, and we are considered a red district. So our Board of Education, myself, can't even make that decision to move forward. So we know that we have so many students being successful virtually, but we have so many students that have got to have in-person school. And so we're reaching out. I'm reaching out. Let's hop on board. Let's make this a Catawba County thing. Let's make this about our students coming back to school. Let's not make this about anything other than our kids in this community. Let's get all our kids back in. Let's get our kids in our extracurriculars. Let's hear those bands on Friday nights. Let's see that football team run out there. Let's see that ROTC flipping those wooden guns over their shoulders that are just absolutely incredible. Let's see those unicyclers from our elementary schools out there pedaling away. Folks, we miss seeing those smiles. I know you do as parents as well. But we've got to control this virus because we certainly know that it can be life or death in some situations. And folks, we have seen where COVID-19 has impacted a student or staff member very, very little. And I have seen it, unfortunately, be very bad. And so, and none of us can wave that magic wand to see what's going to happen. But again, our case study for Catawba County Schools, August 17th to December 7th, we've had no spread in classrooms. Again, we've had a spread, unfortunately, one time that we've been cited with health department and extracurricular. But those numbers, if you think about 9,000 students or even 6,000 students coming through the doors each and every day, and us only having those limited amount of cases spread one time in an extracurricular activity and none in the classroom is simply amazing. And it's an attribute to these 3 W's, our staff, our students, and parents. Folks, I hope and pray we can get this virus behind us. In the meantime, let's do this for our kids. Let's get our kids back in school. And I hope you have a great holiday in the upcoming weeks. We hope to finish strong. We do know the next couple of weeks will be difficult with the number of quarantines. We're going to try to continue to work through this, but let's partner up for our kids. In Catawba County, I know that since I've been here for 4 years, I've seen nothing less. So that being said, I thank you for your support. We love having your kids, and we want to see more of them. Thanks, folks. Have a great evening.